The New Orleans Saints are going to play a preseason game on Sunday against Jacksonville. I will certainly, we're all going to have eyes on the quarterbacks naturally. I'm very interested to see if the Saints pick up a free agent wide receiver. It's something we've talked about quite a bit, actually, this entire offseason. And I know they went and picked up Brandon Cooks. My point about Brandon Cooks has been, will continue to be, I don't get it. You signed an older, declining, less productive version of Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. It's the wide receiver that's under 6 feet tall, who really is a stretch the field guy. At least that's certainly what Shaheed is. The Saints need a big-bodied wide receiver. They need what they don't have. And when you look at the wide receivers that are available in free agency, there's some names that are really well known. Amari Cooper, Gabe Davis, Nelson Agholor, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Powell, Jamison Crowder, Deontay Hardy, Allen Robinson. I mean, the challenge with all those names I just mentioned is that the youngest of them is Gabe Davis, who's 26. And then it's Powell, who's 28, almost 29 years old. Deontay Hardy's 27, but get real, they're not bringing him back. Cooper's 31, Aguilar's 32, Tyler Boyd's almost 31 years old, Jamison Crowder's 32 years old. And I'm not saying at 32 that you're a geriatric and you can't play anymore, but you do have to weigh the risk reward, the benefit of bringing in someone or playing someone younger, which is why the Bub Means injury is so disappointing. I know this sounds repetitive because I keep talking about it, but I am most interested in this team and seeing the young guys. I don't know if you saw it, but the Super Bowl odds came out, and the New Orleans Saints have literally the worst odds in the entire NFL to win the Super Bowl. There's a predictor that came out, like an algorithm that's a win-loss projection predictor, and the New Orleans Saints had literally a 0% chance of winning the Super Bowl. They were the only team in the NFL with literally a 0% chance. ESPN came out with their future rankings, quarterback, coach, roster, front office, all of them, 32, like dead last. There's no real reason for optimism for this team this season to be good. And they're not going to be. Like they're not going to be a good team. I mean, if you were to white label this, if you were to just like blind resume this, rookie head coach, you don't have a single quarterback on the roster that's won an NFL game. It's either going to be a first-year guy, a rookie, or a second-year guy, neither of which has won a game. You got a rookie left tackle. You got a second-year player at right tackle who's playing that position for the first time. Your left guard's playing left guard for the first time. You know what I mean? Like you got a 36-year-old starting inside linebacker. You got a 36-year-old defensive end who continues to see his production decline from being one of the most durable players in the NFL to now playing about roughly half the snaps of what he used to. Both of your starting corners at the beginning of the season last year are gone. You've got one now who's probably going to be a starter for the first time. The other one is still indefinite, to be determined. Do you see my point? Like, when you do it that way, it ain't good. There's nothing to be like, yep, that's the thing. That's what you're going to hitch your wagon to. I mean, the pie in the sky dream is Shuck or Rattler end up being awesome. And I know people will look and say, and I hear this sometimes, well, look at Brock Purdy. He was a 7th-round pick. He went to San Francisco and got him to a Super Bowl. That's true, but they also had the best roster in the NFL. Jimmy G got him to a Super Bowl. They were up double digits in the fourth quarter, too. Ooh. Point being, I'll refocus. I'm not so much worried about the win-loss. Y'all are going to hear me say that a ton to the point where you're sick of hearing me say it. I would rather go into a game week 1 against Arizona and see what your young receivers can do. Like, is Mason Tipton actually an NFL guy? You can roll your eyes, shake your head, I'm with you, because we do this all the time. We do it every year. There's always some little engine that could receiver or running or somebody, and they show out in training camp, preseason games, but when the intensity ratchets up, and instead of playing dudes that are going to be selling insurance in a month, you're playing dudes that are getting paid millions of dollars to play football, all of a sudden you're humbled a bit. Like, but what if Mason Tipton can actually play? I'd rather find that out September the 7th against Arizona than pay Amari Cooper to come be a receiver for the Saints. Is Amari Cooper a better option than Mason Tipton? Yes. Like, does he make you a better team today? Yes. But are you winning any more games with Amari Cooper than you would with Mason Tipton? Absolutely not. Like, if you're looking at point spread value, wins above replacement, if you want to translate that statistic from baseball to football, like Nelson Agholor, Amari Cooper, none of these guys do anything for you. It's the same thing with Brandon Cooks. I didn't get it. Like, he's you're not winning any more games because that guy's here than you would have without him. So, for me, it's so much about, man, is Danny Stutsman going to be a starter in this league? Did they hit on Quincy Riley? Is Jonas Sanker, like, could he be a starting safety? Maybe next to Justin Reed eventually? Maybe. Is Vernon Broughton going to be a good run-stuffing defensive lineman in the NFL? Is Kelvin Banks a franchise left tackle? Like, that's what I'm interested in this year. And we'll get to learn those answers, win or lose, on football Sundays when we get to the fall. So those are the kinds of things I'll be keeping an eye on. So, look, you lose Bub Means, and that's super disappointing. It's a guy you used a fifth-round pick on last year, and maybe you're hoping year 1 to year 2 he takes a big progression, but he's on IR and his season's over. And so you've lost a body at wide receiver. So how do you go replace him? I don't have the answer to that. They could certainly go in a free agency and find one of these guys who might want to collect a check and play a little NFL football, has got some experience, and maybe it's beneficial to have a veteran in that room with the young players. But for the most part, I'm more interested in seeing if the young guys can hang than watching guys that are well past their prime collect a check to make you just marginally better on a team that's not going to be good anyway. And August is supposed to be about optimism. I've got none for the New Orleans Saints. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.